All right. Today we have Dr. Kimberly Wise White, who is the Vice President of Regulatory and Technical Affairs at the American Chemistry Council. Dr. White, I want to go back to your childhood. How was your upbringing?
It was great. I mean, I had two fantastic parents and I was a curious child. And so, I don't have any complaints, I guess, about growing up, right? I grew up in the county. So part of that time was spent in Delaware and then the majority of that in Virginia.
Okay. Okay. Now, were you one of those, did your homework right when you got home and was really into the books? Did you find out that fiction was your thing, or did you find out nonfiction? Did you love science early? Talk to me about, were you into sports? Did you have siblings? Give me a little bit more context to that.
Yeah, so I was one of those straight and narrow kids. So I definitely was the studious type, did my homework right when I came home, but I was also an athlete. So I ran track all through my younger years into college, and I got a track scholarship, which is how I paid for my undergraduate degree. Both were a track and then also with volleyball. And so I did both. Like I said, I was a curious kid, introspective and kind of thoughtful. And my love of science started really, really early on. So I think when I was about 8 or 9, I got one of those red microscopes as a gift from my parents. And I loved it, right? I mean, they knew that I was kind of into science and they bought that microscope, and I spent hours and hours and hours looking at things underneath of that microscope, and that just blossomed into, what I wanted to do. So it was funny, like I was probably one of those kids that always knew I wanted to go into science. Like right from the beginning, I just was always curious about what was happening in the world and how I could kind of be a part of it and figure it out. So I was always asking questions and trying to find the answers. So